Hello and welcome to this episode of the English Verbs series. In this video we're focusing on the verb have. When we take our example sentences, we'll be thinking about have as a lexical verb rather than an auxiliary verb. If that doesn't make much sense to you right now, keep watching and all will be explained. So thinking about pronunciation then, here's a quick overview. We've got to have, had, having, and has. But let's look at these more closely with some phonemic script. So our basic form have ends in a v sound, which is a voiced consonant. So even though we need to write that letter E, we're not saying it. Our past simple and past participle both end in that d. Having, of course, ends with that lovely ing sound up in the nose. And then has, although it's written with an S, actually ends with a z, a voiced sound, because the vowel a is a voiced sound. In English, it would be very difficult for us to try and stop the voicing after the a and then create an unvoiced sound. That would be a lot of work. And that would also sound very unnatural to a native English speaker. So don't try and do that. Just let your a blend through into a nice voiced z. Has. So let's look at some examples then. First with past tense or past simple. I had a great time on holiday. I had my hair cut yesterday. Past participle. And this is where it gets interesting. We're thinking about the verb have as a lexical verb here, which means a verb that holds the meaning. It tells us about what's being done. But of course, the verb have also functions as an auxiliary to create our perfective tenses. So here we've got I had, and both of those verbs need to be there as neighbours. I had enough of his nonsense, so I left. And that's a past perfect construction. To a native speaker, that makes perfect sense. I know sometimes when students encounter this, it feels uncomfortable or strange, but this is the kind of thing you could hear a native speaker saying. And another example, I have had breakfast already, thanks. So I have had, the have locates us here, and the had is our lexical having breakfast, because to have breakfast is the concept we use in English, like to eat breakfast, to have breakfast. So that second have verb is carrying the meaning here, and the first one, have, is carrying the grammar, if you like. So I have had breakfast. The have is telling me right now I feel like the having breakfast is relevant to me here in the present, and had is functioning like the word eat. I have had breakfast already. Thanks. So our ing form. I'm having a great time at this festival. It's in progress. It's still happening. I wish that were true. It's lockdown right now. I'm not having a great time at a festival. There are no festivals happening. It's so sad. Anyway, I'm having my car fixed next week. Now, of course, here, I am having is actually functioning with a future purpose because we've got that time phrase next week. So when you're using English and you see a present continuous construction, it's always worth thinking about what it's being combined with so that we know when we're talking about, is it right now or does it have a future meaning? And finally, our third person has with that z. She has 4 cats. He has an older brother. So our have verb here is in the meaning of possession. So just as a review before we finish, we've got to have, had, having, has. There you go, you've mastered the verb to have. So if you found that useful, hit the like button, click to subscribe, and if you want to work with some other verbs, then check out the playlist. There are not only videos that focus on individual verbs, there are also some videos which take you through the specifics of how to pronounce the past tense forms, the third person forms, and the continuous. That can be quite useful. Sometimes what may seem like it's a grammar mistake in conversation actually turns out to be a pronunciation error. So it's definitely worth thinking about your pronunciation. If you've got any requests for verbs you would like to focus on, leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.